Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, Chewy Plays Nintendo, along with my co-host, Sergio. And today, we'll be covering the latest Nintendo Direct, the Rover's Garden Safari, which is the new event that has come to Pocket Camp, and the upcoming update to Pocket Camp, which I don't know when we'll see it, but we did get a sneak peek into what that is, and so I guess we kind of got a lot to cover. So, Sergio, hello.
Hi, hello everybody. Yeah, it is awesome that we're about to talk about the latest update event that's going on, and now we already have info of the next one coming up.
Yeah, I feel like this is just going to be how it is. It's going to keep coming, and I feel kind of sad about it because I guess I'm at the point with I think we're going to see the new Animal Crossing in Animal Crossing Direct, but I think that's going to coincide with some big update coming to Pocket Camp.
Oh, okay.
Um, but I don't know. We could talk about that later. But essentially, I'm just like, if they just keep doing big updates to Pocket Camp, like when I don't know when we're gonna be able to predict it is essentially it.
Right, right.
um, so anyways, so yeah, the Nintendo Direct. Usually we wouldn't cover something that didn't have Animal Crossing news, but I think we've got some good ideas based on this Direct of I guess just what we think is going to happen with this announcement. So, but real quickly, let's kind of talk about the Direct. So, what do you think, Sergio?
I really liked it. I think it was mostly focused on Nintendo's first quarter games. Definitely, it was Switch heavy. I think everything they announced was for the Switch. Personally, I really liked the indie game Faye. I'm not sure what you think of it, but I think it looks really atmospheric and very, very different from typical games that we get nowadays.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with that because it's not like what EA usually makes because this
Right.
is a game from EA. I don't know if they've developed it or anything, but I know they're doing the publishing for it. So, but yeah, it looks really different. It looks really cool. I'm intrigued by the art style. Is it? I guess is it sort of like a 3D platformer type of thing?
Right, 3D platformer with a little bit of puzzle thrown in.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that one looked cool, but I've got to say the thing that got me most pumped from this direct was Mario Tennis
I
Aces.
agree.
I don't know if y'all have played any of the Mario sports games. A lot of hits, a lot of misses, but the hits are so good. They're definitely worth playing, and Mario Tennis Aces looks like it's gonna harken back to those days where things were really good.
That's right. They're bringing back the story mode finally since the Game Boy
Yes.
Advance one, right?
Yeah, so I don't if you all own a Switch right now, you've probably seen things about Golf Story, which is like an RPG with golf. Essentially, that's what the Mario Tennis games on Game Boy Advance were. Like they were little tennis RPGs. Yeah, so if you're into like, I don't know, sports anime, you might like a sports RPG.
Right. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely excited for Mario Tennis Aces. I think I'm pretty good at the tennis game, so we'll find out.
Yeah. I wanted to play the last one, but then it got like so poor reviews, and I
All
don't know.
right.
I guess there wasn't too much variety to the gameplay. So I kind of skipped it, but I do really want to play that online with people. And then the other thing I liked was Kirby. I know Kirby always looks kind of the same, or the games look pretty similar to one another. But I want to say the last Kirby game I actually bought and played myself was on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've skipped a lot of Kirby and I'm ready to get back to it. And I think the Switch is what's inspiring me to do so.
Right, definitely. I don't recall the exact date, but I know it's coming out way sooner than we thought. I think it's sometime in March.
Yeah, it's March. I also don't remember, but it is very early.
Right.
And it'll be like, it'll mark a year since the Switch's release, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it'll be like the first year two game of Nintendo.
Right.
um, yeah, so then the other thing I thought was cool was the Dark Souls announcement. I mean, I'm not going to play it. Well, probably not going to play it. Mostly because I have trouble with games that are like black on black. when that trailer came on, I couldn't see a single thing, and
Right.
I was like, I can't play a game like that. I need to be able to see what's going on. I mess with the brightness, and then the colors get all weird, and then I mess with the colors, and I just spend more time doing that than actually playing a game.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah, I'm definitely, I don't see myself playing it, but I do agree with you. It is very significant. It was rumored for a while. It's happening. I think it's a big step for the Switch and for Nintendo to get big third-party support.
yeah, and like I said, it's got like a big following, so I think that's a big game coming from a third party. Yeah, it's
Right.
just that. Um, yeah. So was there anything else direct related as far as games that like stood out to you?
Not necessarily by the direct. It was the day after, and I think they did it on purpose to get the direct focus on the Switch. And then there was one 3DS announcement that I still cannot believe that it's happening. You know, dreams come true. Detective Pikachu is coming to North America. We're getting
Yeah,
the
and
physical game. We're getting a giant amiibo, and I'm pretty sure everything is tied up to the movie. So we're just getting everything. I'm so excited.
yeah, that I saw the amiibo, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And at first it was just a picture of it, but then I saw the picture of it side by side with the other Pikachu, and I was like, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. How long have people been waiting for Detective Pikachu? Has it been 2 years now?
Gonna be 3 years, I believe. Yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
Dang. I wow. Well, yeah, that's exciting. I think it's pretty cool. Um, it's like I saw a really funny image. It was LA Noir
Oh,
Pikachu.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think
definitely
that's
cannot
fun.
wait for it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's like also going to hype up the movie that they're eventually gonna
Yes.
make.
Right.
Which I don't know if it's confirmed at this point, but Ryan Reynolds was going to be the voice of Pikachu.
Yes, I believe it was confirmed.
Okay, cool. So yeah, and so I mean, if this all sounds just very weird to you listeners, check it out. It is weird, but it's
Yes.
awesome. um, yeah. So I guess the big thing that we really wanted to talk about on the direct was that there was no Animal Crossing,
Right.
and I'm sure people were disappointed. Um, I guess I saw that it was called Nintendo Direct Mini, and I was like, oh, they're not going to talk about Animal
Right.
Crossing in a mini direct. Like, Animal Crossing is a big deal.
Right. Right.
um, yeah, and I think people also forget, like, Animal Crossing sells a lot. Um, it's probably, I don't know, what's the top? Probably Pokemon or Mario
Right.
as far as sales figures go for Nintendo. But then,
Right.
like,
Right.
right after those, it's Animal Crossing.
Right. I think even more so than Zelda, at least, the ones prior to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a big seller. I guess I want to say it's coming this year, but I'm starting to have my doubts. And I don't know. So what do you think? What do you think we're gonna get an announcement, I guess, by E3 about this game?
I think if there's any chance of the game coming out in 2018, it's gonna be via a special Nintendo Direct for Animal Crossing exclusively. I'm guessing sometime around April. I think if we don't hear such a big revelation for Animal Crossing by maybe early May, I think we might hear about it at E3, but it's gonna be until 2019 by that point.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So I really think if we're gonna see Animal Crossing this year, it's got to happen before E3. E3, I think they say, at least the last E3, they saved kind of the big announcements for, beyond 2018 dates. So you had your Metroid Prime 4 announcement and the Pokemon announcement. Those were beyond 2017. So I think if we see it that late, I think, yeah, we might be waiting a whole nother year, which will
Right.
be sad, but I just want it to be confirmed. I feel like for I guess the last couple years I've just been like, just tell me they're making it.
Yeah, right. And since everything was so mysterious and quiet, and there was no official reveal of, oh, you're getting a direct, at this time tomorrow. By then, we kind of knew that it wasn't going to be big enough to feature Animal Crossing, I think. And then, like you said, when we saw that it was mini, yeah, it was over.
Yeah, but I do think there's a chance that it could happen, especially before E3, because, like you said earlier, like this direct was very much focused on the first quarter.
Yes,
This was spring games, and I think I made note of it, but I think only a couple games were slated for beyond spring, so like
right.
summertime, um, which is good news.
Yes,
I think there's still a lot of the year that has to be planned out by Nintendo, and there was an announcement that the president of Nintendo made that he's hoping that they'll sell. Well, I mean, they're aiming to sell 20 million Switch units this next year.
hmm
And for those of you not, I guess, I don't know, I follow these numbers a bit, but the Switch in this past 10 months or so has hit what, 10,000? Or no, not 10,000, that's very low. 10 million
right, right,
units. So it's already, the system's doing great. It's on track to beat the Wii U in this first year,
right.
which is kind of sad. The Wii U was a bummer. At least on for Nintendo, it was a bummer. They didn't make a lot of money that at that point.
Right, right.
But hopefully now they're making plenty of money and can pay this Animal Crossing team to get the game out. But yeah, so just the thought of them selling 20 million Switches this year tells me that there has to be some sort of power in the games to really support that, you know?
Right, and Mario is out, Zelda was out from day one, so
Those
what's
are the heavy
left?
hitters right
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
You have Pokemon. Since this announcement, I've kind of been convinced that Pokemon may be the major release for holiday this year.
Okay.
Um, but I only say that because that's essentially the only game we know of. I mean, there's Metroid, but I think most of us believe Pokemon games can get made faster than a Metroid game.
Right, I expect Metroid on 2019, and Sun and Moon, there was a lot of rumors of hidden content in the game hinting at a Switch version, so I think, like you're saying, most likely we will get Pokemon this holiday.
Yeah, but I don't know. Nintendo can do anything at this point. Like we've essentially only heard what's slated for spring, and that was just a mini direct. Just gives me shivers of what's gonna come in an actual huge direct. I want them to jokingly call it Nintendo Direct Giant.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and then if they didn't announce Animal Crossing there, I'd just be like, well, Nintendo betrayal. That's what you gave me. um, but yeah, so another thing that I think is funny is a lot of YouTubers that I listen to or anybody discussing Nintendo games, they always say like they don't think that Animal Crossing would be shown at E3, and they usually cite it for not being a good demo, like it doesn't demo well.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, that's weird because literally Wild World, City Folk, and New Leaf were all announced at E3.
Exactly.
And even on top of that, like New Leaf was announced at E3 like 3 years before the game came out.
Right, and it released a few days before NE3, so it's definitely tied to the event.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think they're right in saying that. I definitely believe there's a chance that it will get announced at E3 because, not all games announced at E3 need to be demoed. Like, a lot of
Right.
games aren't even ready. They're just like, like last year, Metroid Prime 4 was a logo.
Right, that's right. In Animal Crossing, it's perfect for both the casual and hardcore. It's a big seller. It definitely deserves to be at E3.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good announcement there, but like you said, it's going to be an announcement for 2019 if we have to wait that long for it.
I think so. I just don't see them. announcing at E3 and releasing the game, unless, like we discussed, since City Folk was mostly a port of Wildwood, unless they do that with New Leaf, I just don't see it.
Yeah, so City Folk was the quickest turnaround time between announcement and release. So that game was announced at E3 2008, and then it was released in fall of 2008. So that was one season to
Hmm.
wait. So you went from summer to fall, the game was out. So that was quick. If we got that again, I would flip. I'd just be like, oh my gosh, you guys did it. I don't know how.
I don't know how either. I
Yeah.
hope.
Whereas Wild World, that was announced E3 of 2004, so summer of 2004, and it was released winter of 2005. So that
Hmm.
was a year and a half
Right.
to wait. And then New Leaf, oh my gosh, the
Oh
torture.
my.
It was announced E3 2010. I don't think they showed anything of it at E3 2011.
Hmm.
And then it showed up again in 2012, and gosh, they just, I don't know. The recent Animal Crossing announcements have done us so wrong.
Yes.
That wait cycle between New Leaf or City Folk and New Leaf was hard.
Right. As much as I don't like it, I always say, it was worth it.
Yeah, and the bottom line, it was worth it because
Hmm.
Wild World to City Folk, like the changes were so small that they were essentially the same game.
Hmm.
City Folk, of course, like it was the better version simply because they added quite a bit. Though I think a lot of people preferred Wild World because of the portability.
Right.
I preferred City Folk because it just gave me more to do.
Yes, me too. I agree.
But then New Leaf just, it blew both of those out of the water. It
Oh,
was
yes.
portable and
Easy.
it gave you so much to do.
Right. All the additions were just so awesome and so intuitive. They just belonged in the series.
Yeah. So yeah, any predictions, Sergio, on when we're gonna see the game?
I do see an announcement at E3 for 2019 release. I think if we don't hear anything at E3, I really think that's a mistake considering the momentum that Animal Crossing is getting with Pocket Camp. I think delaying any sort of official announcement that long, it might not be in Nintendo's best interest. I know they're doing a really good job with Pocket Camp and keeping everybody playing and the game updated, but I think they should capitalize on the hype.
Yeah, definitely. That's a perfect point. I think they really have to announce it by E3, or just the hype's gonna die down again.
Right.
Because as soon as the game came out, people were talking about Animal Crossing again, and not only were they talking about it, they were saying, "Wow, I feel underwhelmed by Pocket Camp. I really wish a full game would come out."
Right.
And so I think pretty quickly Pocket Camp did what it needed to do. It made people believe that the game needs to come to Switch.
Right. And if they keep updating and adding new features, they might cause some people to say, well, I've had enough. I had new features. I went back to Animal Crossing. I'm done. I'm not really interested anymore. And that's not good.
Yeah, and I think that is the sentiment with a lot of people. Like I said, I listen to a lot of different people talk about games, follow different people on Twitter too, and it seems like people are starting, or, they're always starting to hit the point that they kind of don't want to do anything anymore on it.
Right.
Of course, it keeps me coming back because I like to see what these new events are. Um, but yeah, speaking of new events, I guess we can start talking about the latest in Pocket Camp. So, what we've got for this event is called Rover's Garden Safari. And I feel like they just keep finding ways to mess up with having Leaf be in the garden.
Right.
But Rover is now visiting all of our towns. Oh, I keep saying towns, campsites.
Campsites.
And he's got a garden safari going. So I guess, do you want to kind of cover what this event's about?
Sure, sure. It started on the 10th. And it's gonna be by phases actually. The first phase is gonna end actually tomorrow, which is this time it's gonna be on Tuesday the 16th, and the second phase ends on the 21st. Basically, what happens is your garden gets completely redone, meaning you cannot buy any more traditional flowers. You can only buy red or blue dahlias. And when they bloom, there's a chance that you will get a rare butterfly for Rover to collect. The point of the event is for you to keep growing those flowers, getting the butterflies, and it also happens that when you have those butterflies, you can gift them to your friends on their gardens, and they can catch them. So basically, it's a butterfly collecting and sharing event. It's very addictive. It keeps everybody playing and going to all of your friends' gardens just to share the butterflies.
Yeah, I've got to say, so I got a little bit tired of the garden kind of quickly. I think overall it just like kind of felt slow for me.
Mhm.
Every action took a little bit of loading and everything. But with this event, every single action like gives you a reward.
Yes,
And so it's kept me playing continuously because I know no matter what, I'm getting something out of this. And
right,
it's for every little thing, planting my seeds, harvesting my flowers, or like even just growing my flowers, harvesting them, trading them, catching butterflies. It is all rewarding you. And I think this, I don't know, I guess I've never been so impressed with an event before, but this
yes.
one has kept me like I'm now interested in gardening in this game all the
Right.
time.
Right, right. It brought you back for good. I definitely agree. I was playing more Pocket Camp than I was before, but with this update, it's like a game changer. I remember the last time I felt something like this for Animal Crossing was in New Leaf when I started messing around with ground patterns for the first time.
Yeah.
It's a brand new feature and you get so excited and you play a lot more. This is reminding me of that.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I had something in my mind. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel so good gardening.
Hmm.
And even I stopped like visiting other friends' gardens and, cross pollinating. I did it at
Yes.
first and got a good amount of the flowers. But after a bit, I was just like, I could do it. I don't have to. I don't really want to. And so I just visit their campsites still and do the regular thing and kind of not touch their gardens. But
That's right.
now you're just rewarded for all of it. I don't know. It keeps every part of the garden interesting and you know you're going to get something cool. And not only that, I think one of my favorite things is if you've played Pocket Camp for a long time, you're out of stretch goals. You're down to just like the three daily goals.
Right.
And I guess it just felt like there was less reward. But as soon as this event happened, there were tons of rewards, and it felt like you were finally getting more leaf tickets, more essences. It just like opened the floodgates of things.
Right. Hmm.
And I think that's where it was starting to get stale for me. I was like, oh, I get 10 leaf tickets like once a week when I level up finally.
Right.
Or if I level up that week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because it only gets slower and slower. And I think this has sped up the process some more to make you
Right.
feel like, oh, I'm seeing some movement happen in my town.
Right.
And I think that's what's exciting about Animal Crossing. Like you do a lot of things over time and it gets really cool, but there's still like a lot of stuff to do.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah. So so yeah, what do you think of the event so far?
Oh, I like it a lot. You get a lot of rare Rover items because he's collecting the butterflies. So whenever you hit a certain amount of the butterflies, he gives you an item. You also get special, or you get seeds for the red dahlias when you gift butterflies to other friends, and you also get friend powder. Like you said, there's also flower trading was redone. The items that you could get with the flowers, like the shirts or different table patterns, those are on hold for now. They should be back. But now what you get is crafting supplies or even better yet, essences. You have a certain number of essences that you can get, but with
Yeah,
the
I
amount
think
of right, with the amount of flowers that we're harvesting, we're getting a lot of essences.
yeah, so what they have it is you get three essences of your pick for 10 flowers or so,
Yes. Mhm.
and you can do each essence twice. So
Right.
essentially you can get six essences of each type.
Right.
And I've actually almost done that.
Yeah, me too.
The only ones I have left are the two sporty essences because last time we talked about how we really needed sporty. Now I have too many sporty essences.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how I got so many. I think it's like all the other rewards that you get from playing
Yeah.
the game. So, so yeah, I guess let me talk about the rewards real quick because I say everything rewards you.
Yeah.
So you get prizes for planting flowers. You get prizes for harvesting flowers. You can trade those flowers for more prizes. You get rewarded when you catch butterflies, when you share butterflies. Essentially everything
Yeah.
in this event is a reward. So with the specifically like planting and harvesting flowers, there are Isabel timed goals for that. And I think you keep getting goals or you keep getting rewards up until you hit 300. So once you've planted 300 flowers, you've gotten every Isabel timed goal.
Right.
Once you've harvested 300 flowers, you've gotten all of it too. And they're really good. They're like leaf tickets, like bundles of 10 leaf tickets,
Right.
bundles of like 15 essences, which is crazy. Um, yeah, so they're really good things to get in the game, you know?
Right. Mhm.
So on top of that, like you can trade flowers in. We've covered that a bit. You can trade them for essences. The other thing you can trade them for is potted plants.
Mhm.
So I think if you trade 20 flowers, you'll get like a potted plant version of it. Um, and
Right.
then the last thing was crafting materials.
Mhm.
And you'll get 10 crafting materials for trading, I think, 5 flowers, which
Right.
is that's a low number.
Yeah.
You get like, I don't know, if you're doing what I do and just like planting things, harvesting them all and planting them again, that's 20 flowers right there.
Right. And you can
Um,
also get flower food if you want some of that.
oh yeah, yeah, flower food. I haven't done that yet, but I'm
No.
saving it for last.
Right.
I'm like, I gotta make sure I have all of these things first. I also am not trying to get the steel from that because I'm constantly at 999 steel now.
Okay. Right.
um, but yeah, you can do that 5 times. So I think total you can get 50 of each crafting essence,
Correct.
or not essence, just crafting material.
Right.
So that's really good. And then so from there, when you catch butterflies, there's also Isabel timed goals. But then there's also the Rover furniture that you can get.
Mhm.
And so catching, I think you need 80 of the red dahlias, or no,
Yes.
blue dahlias. Yeah, 80 blue dahlias and 60 red dahlias. Oh no, I'm talking about flowers.
Right.
Shoot.
Right.
This is where it gets confusing. What color butterfly comes out of the red
Exactly.
flower?
Right. So the red gives you a topaz butterfly which looks goldish or yellow,
Yeah.
and you
And
need
then
60 of those.
yeah, and those are really hard to catch.
Yes.
The catch rates are not good. Um,
Right.
I've noticed this pretty consistently. I'm catching maybe like, I don't know, 60% of the butterflies. Um,
I got a little confession to make. I spent a lot of leaf tickets letting Lloyd catch those.
yes, that's how they get you.
Yeah. Oh, they got me, definitely.
Yeah, I have not spent any leaf tickets to ensure catching the butterflies, but I know it would have gone faster. I'm about
Right.
7 butterflies away on each thing to get the
Oh,
final
nice.
reward.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wanted to continue. Why it's confusing is the blue flowers, the blue dahlias grow red butterflies.
Right.
It just confuses me every
Yeah.
time because I'm like, oh, the red flower is not red.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have to remind myself every time. Um, but regardless, once you have the butterflies, you can visit a friend's garden, and if they have flowers that have bloomed, and it doesn't matter if they're dahlias either, because I
Right.
tried this with Jackie, and you can just put butterflies on any flower that is bloomed there. And once you do, you get more of the red dahlia seeds, which are much more rare to get.
Hmm.
Pretty much the only consistent way to get them is by giving your butterflies to a friend.
Right.
The best part about giving the butterflies away is it doesn't count against you in any way.
Yes, that's correct. Good point.
Yeah, so if you've caught 20 of the topaz butterflies, which are super hard to get, and you give them all away, your score is still 20.
Hmm.
You don't have to catch 20 more to make up for it.
Right.
So that's what I like about it, you know? Like you don't get punished and you get rewarded.
Right. Right. And we talked about it, but to put it into perspective, when you go to somebody's, when you visit a friend, you go to their garden, you can water their plants. That's one thing to do. You can give them butterflies. That's another thing to do. Then you can step out of the garden, you can give them kudos, you can check their market box, and you can check their campsite and their camper. So there's so many things to do now when you visit people.
Yeah, it's a huge event going to
Yeah.
somebody else's campsite now.
Right.
There's so much to do. Um, but yeah, just like I guess I was thinking about like watering flowers. So say I watered all of your flowers and you planted like 20 of them. I think the reward for that kind of it just is not good. Like you get
Yeah.
one friend powder for water,
Regardless. Right.
and I'm like, I just watered 20 flowers. That took a lot of time. Whereas if you give somebody like 3 butterflies, you're like, here's like 15 friend
Yeah.
powder or
Right.
something ridiculous. It's not
Right.
15. It's probably like 4 or so, but
Right.
still, it's like just every reward for this gardening event is so much better than what we've gotten in this game,
Right.
um, which is nice. Also, you just reminded me. So Jackie and I were playing, and I visited her garden, and she was also in her garden. And I was like,
Mm.
huh, this is interesting because I've been kind of worried about like putting butterflies on somebody's campsite.
Right.
Yeah, say I'm sharing butterflies. What if somebody had just like picked those flowers and it hadn't registered to my game yet? And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like giving them nothing.
Right.
So Jackie and I are at her garden at the same time, and it's pretty quick, like the refresh rate. So if she picked a flower, like a second after, I would see that that flower was picked.
Oh, okay.
So it happened really quick. And if I gave her a butterfly, same thing. She would see it pop up like in an instant.
Right.
So yeah, so if you're worried that you're just like giving somebody something and they won't actually get it, they will get it because it's like practically real time that it happens. And
That.
it's kind of creepy because I felt like a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. One time I was in my garden and then I noticed just butterflies appearing on flowers that had been there already. So yeah, it even told me, oh, somebody has been busy in your garden, and I guess somebody was giving me butterflies. But it's pretty cool that also when you harvest them, it refreshes on the other one. So, like you said, you don't waste any butterflies.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. It's just like I was amazed. I was like, wow, it's like an instant practically. It wasn't like instant. It was maybe a second or two, but it was
Right, right, good
quick.
enough.
It was quick enough that it wouldn't mess up, you know?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, so yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about as far as the gardening event?
Yeah, so phase one is almost over. Like we said, it's going to be on the 16th. What's coming after that? It's going to be white dahlias, so a new type of rare flower, and two type of butterflies. We have winter butterfly and gold winter butterfly. So we're guessing we're going to be getting even more items from Rover. We don't really know what's coming, so that's exciting.
Yeah, and I guess, do you think that we're not gonna see the red and blue dahlias anymore, or are they all gonna coexist?
No, they all coexist. The event notes tell you that you can still continue your goals with the red and blue dahlias after phase two.
Okay, that's good. But
Mhm,
I mean, I am almost done with the red and blue dahlias. I
mhm.
am not gonna need them too much longer.
Right,
So I will probably still try to finish that before this next phase starts, and then I can just focus on those flowers.
right. I think I'm gonna be missing a few of the flower food in the flower trade, so I'm glad they're letting us still harvest those and trade them in.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm also hoping that we'll get some more rewards, some more timed goals based on these new flowers and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just a quick note, the game made mention of it. Any flowers, rare flowers or butterflies that you have in your inventory after the 21st, which is when the event ends, they will turn into bells or they will disappear from your garden. So this is a very limited, one-time only event.
Yeah, I wonder how much money you'll get from them.
Right.
I'm I'm tempted to keep a lot just in case they really
Ah,
hook it up with the money and I can pay
probably,
off
yeah,
my
the rare
final.
ones. Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can pay off my final loan.
Oh,
Yeah. And so was it just the flowers that would turn into bells or the butterflies too?
I think the butterflies too, yes.
Okay. So yeah, I guess yeah, in that case, you better finish doing your butterfly stuff because it's going to
Right.
be gone soon. And that's kind of why we wanted to do this episode too. I guess I didn't mention this, it's only been a week since the last episode, but
Right.
we thought this event was cool. A lot of big things going on and it's so limited time. We wanted to make sure that we talk to all of you in time so you can enjoy the event and get as much as you can out of it. And
Right. We had a few tips also to give you listeners. When you are catching butterflies, there is an option that says capture all. So when you click that, you have to click a little, it's like an array of squares. It's 9 squares. So once you click that, then the game goes into capture all mode. And then you just press OK and you don't have to be capturing each butterfly one at a time, which can take a long time.
yeah, and I've got another tip off of that. You don't have to click every single butterfly. In the speech bubble, there is a select all button.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you can click like certain butterflies that you want to catch. Say you want to, I don't know, say you're a nerd and think about these kinds of things like me. And you're like, you know what? I just want to go for my topaz butterflies right now and see what my capture rate is.
Ah,
So if you're like that, you can do that.
that's true. That's true.
Or you could be like, you know what? I want to see what are the red butterflies called again? Diamond? Yeah.
Yes, Diamond.
Say you want to see what your capture rate with diamond butterflies are. You can do that too. But me, I guess I don't actually do that. I think about doing it because I'm interested in the numbers, but then I don't. I just hit capture all. And
Right.
I assume I got like a 60% capture rate or something.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, just the capture rate's pretty crazy. Like sometimes I get a majority of the butterflies, and sometimes I get a minority of the butterflies.
Right. Hmm.
So it's I don't know. I want to say it's like pretty hard to get all the butterflies.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I would also recommend leaving. I do about five, but you can actually I leave 10 flowers there all the time for whenever anyone visits your garden, they have room to leave you butterflies. Because if you harvest and plant all your flowers, sometimes when people go, there are no flowers to leave butterflies at. So you might want to think about leaving a few there all the time.
Yeah, and so today specifically, like I didn't really play too much. I think I played once during my lunch break today.
Mm,
Definitely, I guess kind of busy, so I didn't get to play much. But I did plant some flowers, and I'm assuming that they're grown now,
yeah.
and that people who have visited and probably filled them up with butterflies. So
Right.
I'm kind of excited to check back right now and see if I finally get the last of the Rover items
Oh,
that I've
yeah.
needed, which would be good. Though I do think I only planted blue flowers, so if
Mm,
anything, I would just get the last of the diamond butterfly rewards.
right.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what other new things we're going to get with
Right.
this next phase of the update. Um, but yeah, I guess we were kind of giving some advice. I had some quick advice. We've already covered the capture all mechanic for the butterflies. I only had two more quick things. One is that you can access a person's market box without going to their campsite if they are in one of your camp areas. So, say you're fishing by the ocean, right? There's always a little character there.
Mm,
Say I'm at my ocean, Sergio's visiting. If Sergio's right there, I can see his market box from there. Like I don't have to go into his campsite.
right. And it's the full market box, not just the four that you see, for example, in your landing hands for Quarry.
Yeah, I'd mentioned this before, but Jackie recently discovered it and she was like, I can't believe I've wasted so much time.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of I wanted to, I guess, just put that as a reminder. The
Right.
other thing was, so last episode I talked about the kites, you know?
Right.
And I said, oh, it's so cool to see them like flying in the campsite. So Jackie was like, "Oh, I want to see it fly." She put her kite in her campsite and it was just sitting there.
Right.
And she was like, "What's going on? Why isn't it flying?" So you need to leave enough room for one of your villagers to be able to use the kite. And so then once they use the kite, you'll see it flying around.
Right, right. I'm just sitting here laughing because I did the exact same thing. I need to I need to go leave some room in there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I was experimenting. I was like, yeah, why isn't it flying? I
Mm.
know I saw this thing fly. I didn't just make it up. Like, it wasn't a dream. I saw it.
Right.
So yeah, and then I walked into somebody else's campsite and then I saw it flying. I took a snapshot, texted it to Jackie, and I was like, it works. I think an animal needs to use the kite for it to
Right.
fly. Um,
Makes sense.
yeah, and it really works best when it's like right now I have my kite sideways and it's kind of a waste because when you a kite sideways just looks like a little line. Like you can't see the picture at all.
Mhm.
So I am gonna rearrange my town to fix that. Yep, but yeah, I guess that's the quick advice that I wanted to give in this episode, and then we wanted to close out by talking about the upcoming update. So, Sergio, you made some notes on this update. What can we expect in Pocket Camp?
Sure, we don't have a date yet, but the upcoming update, it's sounding so awesome already. So, for starters, you're gonna be able to customize the terrain of certain areas. Basically, what that means is the background. You can have different trees or different flowers. So basically, every campsite is gonna look just a little bit more different. I think that's really, really exciting.
Yeah,
Another,
a quick note.
Mhm.
So some of those backgrounds, like you can get a little sneak peek of it. There's a bamboo type of forest.
Right, yeah.
Funny story. Jackie was like, "This looks like, are those like giant asparagus stalks?" And I was like, "They do look like asparagus." But yeah, it's bamboo. Then there was like a flower meadow with, I think, a lake in the background.
Right.
I kind of like that. I
Yeah.
would like to
Mhm.
see like a little mountain too in the
Oh, yeah.
back. But yeah, I'm sure that's only like a little sneak peek of what of all the things that we can
Right.
do.
Right.
Um, I'm sure we'll have different things. Like we have the ocean, we have that river. Um, maybe they'll be like based on those like different areas in the
Yeah,
campgrounds,
right.
which would be fun. And
Yeah,
they should definitely add a little bamboo place that we can go to,
right.
because I would love that. Yeah, so sorry to cut you off, but you
No,
can
no.
keep going with the update.
Sure, no problem. So this one we specifically talked about it on the podcast because we really wanted this one and now it's coming. We're gonna be able to place more than one rug at a time on the campsite. So I'm guessing at least two, one on the left, one on the right.
About time.
Yeah,
That's a big one. I'm finally gonna be able to have my like snowy floor
yeah.
on one side and just a carpet on the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a nice little living room area next to a soccer field.
Yeah. So what else is coming?
This one is really exciting to me in a way because I didn't play enough Happy Home Designer to get to try it there. But you're gonna be able to dress up your villager animals whichever way you want.
Yeah, and I loved Happy Home Designer, and I kind of forgot that you could do this, but you could dress up your animals and make them wear different outfits, and I don't know, I guess you get so used to seeing an animal just kind of like change their shirt or such,
Right.
but being able to change like, oh, they're wearing a hat now and glasses, that really changes it up. Like, I don't know. I want to put little shoes on them, some
Yeah.
pants. KK Slider, when he wears clothing, like he's really styling.
Right. It sounds a little bit dumb, but I want to see everyone with the same outfit, like uniforms.
Yeah, that would be actually hilarious because you
Yeah.
have people who were making their campsites into like little prisons or offices or
Yeah.
a bunch of different things. Like if you just dressed everybody up in like a button-up shirt and they're working at a desk, that'd be
Right.
adorable. They're like, this is the greatest camping experience I've ever had, working my job outdoors.
Right.
Yeah.
So the next part that we have is it's going to be easier to request help to go to Shovel Strike Quarry. I think what that means is you're going to be able to select multiple people and ask for help at once, which is really handy.
Yeah, I just want them to put like at the very top a ask everyone button. You just click that and then you're done with it for the day.
Right.
Because when you have how many you have like the max friends, right? 84 or
84,
so.
right? Weird number again.
You have to go through so many names. I mean, I'm at the point where if somebody hasn't played in 2 days or more, I don't even bother asking for
Right.
them.
That's right.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I should probably clean out my friends list and start, just dropping some of those players who haven't played in so long.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So next, they're gonna improve the ease of use of the market box. No details exactly as to what that means. We're thinking maybe we're gonna be able to change the prices. Maybe we're gonna be able to change the quantity of the items that are on the market box, or when you're gonna buy something, it might show you, oh, you have five of these, and you're gonna buy five more. It gives you an idea of how many you want or what to buy. I think that would be a really cool one. But one of the biggest ones, if we do get it, is being able to take items back from the market box.
Yeah, that would be life changing. You don't know how many times I've been like, I'm out of monarch butterflies, but I'm selling 12 of
Yeah,
them. I need those back.
right, right. And it makes sense because it's your market box. You should be able to take them back.
Yeah. The other thing I'd like to see out of that is being able to view the entire market box before visiting to purchase things.
Oh, yes, definitely.
That'd be the biggest time saver for me.
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I'm stuck just going to campsite after campsite, being like, really hope they've got
yeah.
the beetles that I want.
Or you try to gauge by the four items that you can see, and you're thinking, well, they have some fish. Maybe they'll have the horse mackerel that I need.
Yeah. Oh, it yeah, I just want to be able to see what I can get. And if they don't have what I need, I'm not going. I mean, I might go later to give you some kudos or see,
Right,
check out your campsite or something. But
right. But priorities.
yeah, yeah,
Now, I wanted to play devil's advocate a little bit, only because I had the thought in, you know, the evil side of my brain thought that would be good to make money. I think if we do get the option to take items back, you may have to pay lift tickets, maybe 5, maybe 10. I think 10 would be a little too much for to take an item back. I hope that's not the case, but I can see it happening.
oh, that would hurt.
Yeah, that would be really bad. But we will have the option. It will be up to us.
Yeah, that's. I almost feel like that'd be a little unfair, considering like you put those items there
Yeah,
yourself. You don't want to pay real money to buy back your fake items that you
right,
just put there. Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but oh, yeah, that'd be another thing to take our money with.
Yeah. So there's also going to be changes to the gardening feature. We don't really know what that means. Personally, I think they might try to incorporate the butterfly sharing, something to keep gardening more interesting, like it has been in this Rover event.
Yeah, I, I just love all the changes they've made with the garden anymore, or
Right.
so far. So anything they come up with at this point, I think is just gonna make it even better.
Yeah.
And yeah, the biggest thing is that you get rewarded for everything you do. I think my problem with gardening prior to that was
Mm.
I just couldn't do anything
Yeah.
with or if I did, it was very slow and I didn't get much out of it.
Right. And then once you had one of each rare color, and you would just be saving up for the flower trade, and that was it.
Yeah. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see those changes.
Yeah. And the last part of the upcoming update, they're gonna add new fish and bugs, which I think it's very exciting too.
Yeah, I guess I've kind of been wondering how they're gonna handle like changing out that kind of thing because we're used
Yeah.
to seasonal things in Animal Crossing. Like certain bugs can be caught, certain fish can be caught, but I don't think that transition works as well in Pocket Camp because people are or the villagers are constantly asking for certain things, you know?
Right.
And if that certain thing were to disappear, pretty much like every season, you would have to start your collection over again.
Right.
Clear out the market box,
Uh,
find, start collecting all the new bugs and fish. So, yeah, it'd
right.
just be like pretty time consuming, you know?
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes with them adding new fish and new bugs. Because I think they'd have an easier time adding things than they would taking them away.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping it's smooth, but yeah, that's been my worry because
Mm.
just thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I don't know. It might not work though. I want it to because it's so fun
Right.
every time it's a new month and there's gonna be something new that you can catch.
Right. So I think it's a really substantial update, and I love the fact that we know it's coming. It's just keeping Pocket Camp alive.
Yeah, and hopefully they keep it alive enough by the time they announce Animal Crossing Switch,
Right.
because I mean I would argue that that's like kind of the game's purpose. It's to remind people Animal Crossing exists. I mean, people like us, you don't have to remind. We're always thinking about it. But for other gamers, like it is kind of like a casual game.
Right.
It's a life sim that you can play any way you want. So I think a lot of people, play through it, enjoy what they can of it, and then they move on to other games. And that's fine. That's life.
Yeah.
But I think this is doing what it needs to do in reminding the audience that, hey, Animal Crossing exists. And you know what? This is just a precursor to what's to come.
Right. And there's so much you can do. There's so much content in the game, especially after all the updates. And essentially, it's all free. Some of us, like me, we spend real money to get lift tickets, but you don't have to, and you can get the exact same enjoyment and content that we had. So there has to be a catch. There has to be something else, and it's the next Animal Crossing game.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I think we've covered a lot of things. Usually, I guess we'd go over our progress, but you want to go through that real quick?
Not much that has been mentioned. I'm just level 45, and I did get the treehouse. I'm still working on the pool, though.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I am level 52, and I've officially built all of the original amenities.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
I'm currently waiting for my hammock, my rustic amenity, to reach
Mhm.
level 5 so I can see what essences I need to make the hot air balloon.
Ah, right, right, right.
So I'm excited to figure that out because I haven't really looked up any information. People always know they data mine these things and figure
Oh
it
yeah.
out. But I was like, you know what? I want it to be a surprise what I need to make this hot air balloon, and then I'll make it.
Nice, nice. Oh, I also did put out three beds just out on the campsite and just for villagers to try them out. And I'm calling it the Bedorium, so I know I need a better name than that.
I think it's a good name.
So I want to get more and I want to actually lay them out nice. And they were using them the other day. It was nap time at Camp Madera.
I love that. Oh, which reminds me, they need to let us name our campsites.
Yeah.
I don't know a single campsite without a name. And I felt like naming something in Animal Crossing is the first big thing you do. You go off to live on your own, and Rover's like, "Yo, where you going?" And you're like, "Oh, this is it. This is where I tell him. This is the name of my paradise."
As long as it's 8 characters or less.
Yeah, oh gosh. Please, please. We need at least, I don't know, 20 characters. Come on.
Yeah.
Be
I mean, we're
generous.
being we're being so limited. Just go all out, 24.
Yeah. It's funny because, I don't know, I think of Smash Brothers and the Smashville level to fight on, which is the Animal Crossing themed
Oh,
course. And I'm
yes.
just like,
No.
no, it's
No.
that's beyond the character limit.
Yeah.
You cannot name your town Smashville.
So unfair.
Yeah, cheaters.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, hopefully they give us a decent character limit
Right.
that will let us name our town whatever we want. Towny McTownface. Yeah, so everybody, thank you for listening. Always happy to record an Animal Crossing podcast. What you're probably listening to is music that I recorded myself. This is just the first iteration of the music, so it's gonna get better. I'm learning these songs. Essentially, right now it's just my guitar, and a rhythm part, a lead part, and that's it. But I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna try to record as much music as possible for this thing, so you're not listening to all the same tracks, and hopefully learn some of that. But yeah, this is just my first dive into it. The quality is gonna improve. I guess I'm not too happy with it right now, and so I want to make it better already. But yeah, we're gonna get to that. But
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for listening, Sergio. Thank you for speaking with me. Always a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, if you want to support the show, you can on patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. Lots of cool things from there. Actually, one of my projects that is involving patrons is in the works right now. I'm excited to show it off. Maybe later this week it'll pop up on YouTube.
Nice.
And as always, the Discord is open to everyone. We had a lot of new people join recently, and yeah, always a good place to talk to people about Animal Crossing. If you're looking for any materials or advice on the game, people are there to talk about it, and yeah, it's a fun place.
Yeah, we're pretty good at helping each other out with items, so definitely join us at the Discord.
Yeah, so thank you everyone, and we will see you, I don't even know when. Maybe this thing will just become weekly on its own.
Yeah.
All right, have a great one.
Thank you. Bye bye.